So let me catch you. So let me catch you slipping by. Why do I get myself? Why do I get myself caught up in these lonely nights?
All right. So let's get started. For those who are just watching this as a VOD later on, hello and welcome to another live stream. As always, I'm the host Revenant, and today I will be going over the new ring abilities added today, so the time I'm making this live stream, which is going to be August the 18th. On here, it is going to be going over all of the new abilities that has been added with, new ability modifiers. We have gotten certain characters with modifiers, so let me just go and put in full screen right now so you can see. There's going to be everything in the patch note in the description down below. So you can actually just go ahead and click and the link in the description and you're going to see literally everything that you're going to see right here. I will be reading the patch notes and then I will be doing the testing. I actually did some testing on the night before actually doing this live stream because I was, curious. Obviously, it's the night, it's my main character, so I wanted to just test it out. So I'm going to be reading all the patch notes right now. So yeah, once again, I will be leaving in the description down below. So I will be going over the additional updates and then I will be going into the ability modifiers, which is going to be the topic of today's live stream. So today I will be going over the additional updates, which are going to be: when given a boss or a biome can no longer spawn in a given delve, a message will be shown in the chat box. So for those who don't know about the delve stepper, pretty much as soon as you complete the first, the first boss, you can actually just fight the boss once again with subsequent, spawn rates. Technically, it's just, I don't know how many bosses you can fight, but once it can no longer spawn that boss, it will just tell you the message that, it can no longer do that. So that's going to be pretty nice, so you don't have to waste your time while doing so. Delve Stepper, which pointed to bosses which could not spawn on Shadowy Vault floors, can once again be purchased. So yeah, this is going to be the bosses like the Magman, like a lot of the bosses, because I actually did this testing last week and they were not spawning. Like the non-vault floor enemies, they were not spawning at all. So now they're spawning, so now you can buy them and test them out. The original Understack and Volcanic Vaults gateway has been re-added into the game. The stepper version of these can still be crafted on Wednesday and Tuesday at the hub. So essentially the old ones might be changed into delve steppers instead of just, or depth stepper I should say, instead of, the regular one it is right now. I don't know, maybe that could be the case. Fix the sounds of a female fade in the cry chord. The caster could also be sent back to the caster's school. Okay. And no longer finds as a melee character. Okay. Fixes to one of the character's AI. Now, let's start talking about all of the additional abilities, which is going to be going over the, all of the changes. I need to do some little change because the music is too loud on my headset. Give me a sec. So yeah, it's way too loud on my headset. Let me just lower it down a little bit. Now it's too loud. Yeah, it's good to have it as a background music rather than the main thing. I'm doing some testing with the audio. Give me a sec. I forgot that the audio is a little bit too loud on my headset. I think I just put it around the same volume, but I just lowered it on my headset. That should be good to go. Alright, let's move on to what I was saying. To all of the abilities, all the characters, there are some characters that actually got another ring, so there's two actually, Bard and Neon Ninja. They now have two instead of one ring, which is a good thing because both of them were trash for last week. Now they got, at least the Neon Ninja got a pretty insane one from what I can see right here. But yeah, I think that they say in the patch note is going to be that the Lunar Lancer Ice Age has not been forgotten. The Ice Age does require additional work. The Ice Age is arguably the best overall character in the game. So I understand that giving the Ice Age something would be kind of ridiculous because the character is already really strong. The Lunar Lancer is not going to be given any abilities because it's going to be the next character as a rework. So the Lunar Lancer and the Ice Age does not have an ability. It's the only two characters that does not. But all the other characters, yes, they do have an ability either from last week or this week. And pretty much all of them were given today. So starting off with the Revenant is going to be Speed Spears, which Speed Spear no longer slows down. Before I actually think it slowed down for like 90%, now it no longer slows down. Now, here's the thing. Before we actually had the Beyblade Candy Barbarian. Thank you, I appreciate it. Now, instead of just the Beyblade Candy Barbarian, now we had the Lawnmower Revenant. Yeah. So the Revenant now has Spears that no longer lowers movement speed. So yeah, the Revenant is going to end up being a goddamn lawnmower. That's fun. Anyway, so yeah, that's Spear. Draco. Now this one could be pretty nice, but at the same time it could also be alright. Because what it says is Dragon Force. It summons 2 Draco-like allies when using the ultimate ability. If it gets into the 6 minion limit, then it's only going to be just, you know, not an increase to DPS, but just makes it so that the Draco gets to the highest DPS much quickly. And it's going to be easier to maintain. So it's still good, it's still pretty insane, but you know, summoning 2 Draco allies instead of just 1 for an ultimate ability, that's not too bad. So this one is the one that I actually did the testing, which is just going to be on the Knight. The Knight actually got an ability called Overcharge. And what it does is, using charge grants temporarily movement speed increase. So I had to do some testing, which I'll explain more in a little bit. But yeah, I had to do some testing and it's pretty nice. It's not as insane as the Candy Barbarian's Spin to Win, but it's pretty good. It's really good actually. So yeah, anyways. So next up is going to be the Vanguardians combo, which Energy Blast now applies the same damage increase as the Eye Laser. I do believe it is 5%? 3%? I don't remember. But it's just a damage increase that you get whenever you hit an enemy with the ability, which is alright. Fate Trickster's Mobilize. This one is another one that I'm very interested. And that is going to be the fairy that now summons 1 large enchanted stat that follows the player. That's actually going to be pretty nice and pretty fun to use, not gonna lie. So I'm pretty interested to see in that one. Then it's going to be Dino Tamer Deep Wounds, which is going to be applies a damage taken, increase debuff to enemy dealt damage by a Dino Tamer and their Dino summon. So A damage taken increase debuff. What the hell is that even? Applies a damage taken increase debuff. Who wrote this? A robot? What the hell? A damage taken increase debuff to enemies dealt damage by a Dino Tamer. Okay. And their Dino summons. So does it apply whenever you hit an enemy? Or whenever you take damage from that enemy? That applies a debuff that allows you to do more damage. Either way, I need to do the testing. This one is another one that is pretty insane because one of the changes with the Neon Ninja. No, legit, the Revenant is literally a lot more. The Neon Ninjas actually got 3 flip. So normally on an additional update last week, which is probably going to end up being part of the Death Stepper update, and that's going to be that the Neon Ninja, whenever you do a Shadow Flame, you get 1 Shuriken charge. With this ring ability, you'll get all 3 of them. That's pretty insane, I will tell you, because that's pretty ridiculous. The 1 Shuriken charge already made the Neon Ninja so good. This one just already makes it into the what the hell side. What the hell is this? Because it means that in terms of DPS, this character is going to be much better than just going basic. Because you can just do 1 Baffle Shuriken, Baffle Shuriken, Baffle Shuriken, just keep doing that. And in terms of momentum, that is broken good, because all you can do is just 1 Shadow Flame, get all Shuriken charge, and get all movement speed buff. Okay. Now it's like there's not even a contest. If this wasn't here, then I would be the best right now, because this movement speed buff that I got is also pretty stupid, I will say. You'll get to see that in a little bit. But the Neon Ninja now generating 3 Shuriken charges is going to end up still being the best dungeon grinding, and right now by a lot. And it's not even going to be close. Like, no character is going to, because the problem with the Neon Ninja is, one of the problems is going to be momentum building, because the character, you had to keep all 3 Shuriken charges in order to keep momentum. With this is just the momentum is already there, so all you gotta do is 1 Shuriken charge and throw a Shuriken. You get all movement speed buff without losing any movement speed. That is ridiculous, and maintaining movement speed buff is going to be really easy with the Neon Ninja. Anyways, moving on with the Bard. The Bard is going to be Peaceful Moment, so Peaceful Song now reduce damage done to allies, so pretty much a damage reduction buff. So let me just go into Trove right here. So yeah. Now let's go over all of the characters one by one. So let me just go into... I keep pressing all the buttons. Yeah, I'm a nerd. So yeah, you can see it right here, Peaceful Moment. I probably cannot do the testing with this one, but yeah, you essentially, it's going to be this version of the ultimate ability now applies a damage reduction. So that's going to be the part of this character, which is, again, it's good. It helps out in terms of supporting, it helps out in survivability, but the character already has really good survivability. Now, the Vanguardian, again, another somewhat underwhelming, to be honest. I will just wait out for ult. I don't care, just equipping this stupid thing. But yeah, just essentially this now applies a damage increase to all of your abilities, similar to Rev's passive, similar to, you know, Draco's passive. You know, it's the same thing, but just hitting with the Plasma Blast, which is alright. Dino Tamer, this one is the one that just, when I saw it, was like, oh yes, this was written by a robot. So yeah, applies a damage increase debuff to enemies dealt by Dino Tamer and the Dino Summon. So I don't know if it is going to be tied if you hit an enemy with an ability, or if you take damage then you are going to do a damage increase, or the enemy is going to do less damage. I don't know. I don't care. This doesn't seem to be super insane unless the damage reduction is a lot. Lunar Lancer did not get anything because obviously it's going to get the rework later on. Now let's go with the Lawnmower Revenant. So let me just unequip the Speed Spears. So normally Spirit Spears, you know, I have 40 base movement speed. It will lower down to 15. The movement speed is a percentage movement speed reduction. I don't know how much it is. I think it is 60% movement speed reduction whenever you activate this ability. So you will be moving really slowly. Normally. Whenever you keep pressing all the buttons, god damn it. Whenever now is going to be the Lawnmower Revenant. So essentially you don't lose any movement speed with or without it. Beyblade Candy Bar Brand Lawnmower Rev. You will literally just be going all the way like... That's insane for Rev. Can you use pots? You can use pots. So if you're running low on HP, you can literally just use pots. So if you have movement speed equipment with this Revenant, and you're doing U10, or if you're doing Dells, which by the way, it's another thing to keep a note of, this ability does 2.5 times damage multiplier 2 times per second. 2.5 times damage multiplier in Uber 10, you can kill enemies without martial emblem. It means so you can easily maintain full movement speed buff with this ability active. Think about that. That's pretty nuts. Literally the Revenant is going to end up being just going everywhere with this ability. You need help? Use a pot. That would be pretty insane. You need to welcome. How's it going? Welcome. So yeah, that's pretty nice. Not gonna lie, I will say. Actually, just makes it really strong. Oh no, for sure. No, the thing is, you can have Spirit Spear indefinitely. All you gotta do is just keep activating pots. And if you have, let's just say, if you're rocking Conjurer's Crucial Vial with pretty high magic point, you can literally just maintain all full flasks without any problem just going with this ability, because you will be running super fast from dungeon to dungeon that you will kill bosses before the pots actually run out. So yes, I definitely can see it right there. Oh, pretty nuts, not gonna lie. So this one is the interesting one that I needed to check out. And I'm gonna put Elysian Bandolier because I need those. I need Chrono. Forgot to put in this subclass, but who cares? Whatever. Now this one is one that I was interested in. Does it apply with non-class gym? Oh yes, it does. So whenever you activate your ult, it pretty much just summons 2 minions, so you don't even need class gym now to summon the minions. That's not too bad. That's going to help out early game Draco. I cannot test with class gem, so it means that if I use this ability and throw down 4 more, it doesn't run with the 6-minute limit. But either way, it's still pretty nice. It means that you can still have the Draco babies whenever you activate your ultimate ability, which is pretty nice. So, can you actually just stack? No, obviously not. Alright, that's not too bad. Anyways, let's move on with the next one, the Neon Ninja. Again, Neon Ninja is getting a lot of love. Might as well just give it a rework, for crying out loud. Now, instead of just getting 1, you get all 3 of them. Which is part of this. Straight flip. You get all 3 shuriken charges whenever you do the shadow flip. This is insane because 1 shuriken charge was already really good. Giving all 3 of them, it means that you can do this. Just boom. So if we're going against a boss, a high boss, you can just you can just literally do that. This will be somewhat timing based. But yeah. This is really ridiculous, not gonna lie. Let's just say it like, keep in mind, if you're using there's a timing, yeah, there's definitely a timing. If you're using shuriken with class gem, just letting you know that each of these shurikens are doing, they're doing 9.5 times damage multiplier base plus the 2.5 times damage whenever you do a damage increase. So the 2.5 times damage increase when you do a crit, the 9.5 times damage multiplier base, then you can apply martial emblem on top of everything. You're literally looking at an ability that can do roughly around 50 times damage with martial emblem, like 50 plus times damage multiplier, and at this speed. So just imagine 50 times damage multiplier. This. And all you gotta do is this. From really far away on 48 or 49 block range. Yikes. Anyways. Next up. But yeah, Neon Ninja is pretty insane. This one is the one that I was interested in. And the Fate Trickster one is going to be the Mobilize. Mobilize is just going to be whenever you activate Fairy Dance, you're ult. You're going to have one large enchanted staff that follows the player. Do I have? I don't have because I never have emblems equipped because I'm that type of player. So oh, there's no staff. The glitch though is a yeah, I think it's the same thing that happens with my barb, where I had to equip and unequip the stupid thing so I can actually get it. Yeah. Now this is the ult. That was the other one was the old ult. Now it's this one. Seems to be really slow. Doesn't go through water. Typically AI. But yeah, it seems to be moving at around the same speed. Now that I think about it. Jesus, for how long does it last? Hashtag yes. What the hell? Like, that thing lasted for like forever. What the hell? Now look at this. I activated the ability, I just went. I need to check on the cooldown on this ability. I think it's 40 seconds of cooldown, so the timer seems to be almost the cooldown. Like, I think it's 35 seconds of duration. What the hell? So it's super easy to maintain that. Now we'll do the damage testing later on, not gonna lie. That's pretty nice. And I do believe that's all of them except the one, the only, the Knight. So the Knight got Overcharge. So what it does is, using Charge will give you a movement speed increase temporarily. So I actually did the testing before actually doing this live stream because I was curious of certain things. Number one is going to be, is it only on Charge? Or is it on Charge and Spirit Squire? Or both. And number two is obviously how much movement speed increase do you actually get. So, to answer the first question, does it apply on Spirit Squire or Charge? And the answer is yes, it applies on both of them. Both Spirit Squire and Charge does get the movement speed increase whenever you activate it. And how much movement speed is it? It's a 25 movement speed base. It's not 20%, by the way. 25 base. I actually did the testing without equipment and with full equipment, and it was 25 all the way. So it's 25 movement speed base. So you can actually see it right there. If I go with movement speeds, I got 50. Activate the ability, go 75. That's 25. If I equip the full on movement speed equipment, 93, 118. That's 25 base. That's pretty much how much it goes. It would have been higher if it was percentage. So it's 25 movements in base, and it does apply with Spirit Squire. Here's a couple of things that are pretty insane about it. If it weren't for the fact that the Neon Ninja got what it got with the 3 shurikens, this character right now would be the best dungeon grinder in the game. And I'm not saying that because I'm a Night main. I've mentioned this multiple times. One of the things that's holding the Knight back is the movement speed. Movement speed is literally the character's weakness, which obviously is what it should be. Like, the character's weakness is it has a terrible dodge, and no movement speed buff and base movement speed 40. The standard with tied with the slowest character in the game. But to compensate, it has obviously Spirit Squire and the basic, which are two of the most strong, two of the strongest abilities in the entire game for dungeon grinding. If not, you could argue being the 2 best. But either way, that was the character's weakness. With this, you're removing the character's weakness. And what you have right now, a character with 2 of the best abilities in the entire game with a movement speed buff. And now it's going to be competing in terms of movement speed with all of the other characters. And again, allow me to explain that this movement speed buff is 4 or 5 seconds of duration, and it has no cooldown, and you can easily refresh the timer. That is really nuts, because you can apply this with all of the movement speed buff And you can easily have a knight running around 260 movement speed. 260 to 270 movement speed, which is around the same movement speed as current Dino Tamer. Which, again, if you give all of that with this to the knight, you can easily see, like, it's literally 15 less movement speed than the Dino Tamer, 15 base less movement speed than Dino Tamer. Which is going to end up being like 5 less movement speed than the current Vanguardian, which the current Vanguardian can reach 260 without the Barge subclass. With the Barge subclass, you add in at 15%, which is just going to end up being like... How much is it? No, it's not 45. It's going to end up being like 37 more movement speed. 37 to 38 more movement speed with subclass alone. So max movement speed is 212 without subclass plus 25. That will be 237 plus the increase, which is roughly around 30. Yeah, roughly close to 270 movement speed. With all of the movement speed buff active, potentially the max if you include this. Receiving a phone call from Phantom. Oh, answered the call. Can I on the stream? I'll answer it later. Well, I'll answer the call later. But yeah, just to explain that, that is... Alright, I already told him. But yeah, that's really... That's pretty insane. So allow me to explain once again why the knight is without, obviously. Yeah, I just had to answer a phone call. Well, not answer a phone call, but just let him know via message. Either way, the knight has potentially the best abilities in the entire game for a couple of reasons. Allow me to explain with, first and foremost, the basic attack. I was just, by the way, I was just very surprised that the Spirit Squire actually did work whenever you activate this ability. That was one of the things that I said, do not give the knight a movement speed buff, the knight will become broken at dungeon grinding. So, and they gave him a movement speed buff, so rip. It's not the highest, but it's still pretty insane. Anyways, so basic attack. Let's go over the things that you want on a character in Uber 10 for, you know, in terms of basic attack. You want a basic attack that does damage, high damage, and it has really good crowd control, and obviously it has pretty good range. The Knight's basic does not have good range. It's the shortest, tied with the Vanguardian melee, but it has the crowd control. Yeah, it does have the crowd control. Oh lord, how's it going? How's it going, young? It has the properties that you want on a basic. It has the crowd control and it has the damage. Damage is 2.5. So 2.5 times damage multiplier. with 2.125 attacks per second at base, which is among the highest, and fastest basic attack with one of the best crowd control. So it has everything. It has insanely high damage, it has crowd control, and it's, you know, fast. So it has all of them that you want on. The only thing that it does not have is range. But in Cursed Skulls, I think that you may or may not know, in Cursed Skull, yes, he hits backwards. So yeah, that's how good the crowd control is. Let me see. You can hit enemies like... oh yeah, there we go. You can hit enemies from like right here. Where the ally is just currently sitting at, you can hit enemies right there. So, in Cursed Skulls, all enemies are close range. So all you gotta do in Cursed Skull, that's why whenever you see me dungeon grinding, I always go back and forth with using basic. Because this can kill enemies one shot with a martial emblem, because 2.5. And it will hit literally all enemies as soon as they spawn, because it can hit all enemies around it. And then if we include Spirit Squire it's a broken ability without the movement speed buff that it got. It's a pretty broken ability on its own. So in that it has high damage, it's instant cast, it stuns enemies, it has perfect range because it has enough range that you can easily maintain the movement speed buff. So it has all of that. It doesn't lower any movement speed upon activation. Low energy cost. It goes through enemies. Like, it has everything that you want on an ability. So damage multiplier is 8. I'm on the highest, so it can easily one-shot everything in U10. Range is 9, so it goes on the 15 block ally buff range that you actually do get. It does have a 4 block width, so we can hit enemies within 4 blocks around this, so you can see right there. Energy cost, I believe, is 25, so it's one of the lowest one. So it has everything, and again, doesn't lower any movement speed upon activation. And now with this ring ability, now it gives up 25 plus 25 movement speed base. A base plus 25 movement speed increase upon activation. So a plus 25 movement speed increase with an ability that does all of those stupid properties. There's no ability in the game that actually does that, and it is pretty ridiculous. So to answer the question of what is the next character ability, I just already went over all of them. Last week I went over, you know, the character that actually did get the ring ability, which is Chloro, Bard. So Bard got 2 of them. Boomeranger, Tomb Racer, Gunslinger, Candy Barbarian, Shadowhunter, Empire Captain. Those are the old ones from last week. And this week is Bard again, Vanguardian, Dino Tamer, Revenant, Draco, Neon Ninja again, Ray Trickster, and the Knight. Ice Age, they are planning to do maybe something in the future, but Ice Age is already pretty strong, so it doesn't need anything in my opinion. And Lunar Lancer is, they're just waiting for the rework. So this one is just going to be tied for the rework. So yeah, pretty much all of the characters now have a ring ability tied to them, except the Lunar Lancer and Ice Age. And yeah, that's all of them. El Ref, ¿tú quieres hacerle el cortapasto? ¿Tú quieres cortar el pasto, Aquito? ¿Te gusta cortar el pasto? ¿Te gusta moverte todo el tiempo en 100% movement speed cuando estás activando esta habilidad? Ese es el ref. Spirit Spears. Ya no te baja el movement speed. The Lawnmower Revenant. Y tiene todas las propiedades. Quita lo mismo. Tú puedes usar pociones. No baja movement speed. Puedes correr como un animal. Todas esas cosas. So yeah. Pretty insane. Not gonna lie. Oh yeah, that's going to end up being all of the characters. In my opinion, this batch of characters actually is much better than last week. Last week, the only good ones were the Boomerang and Candy Barb. All of the other ones were either mediocre or bad. This week, the Revenant is a good one. Neon Ninja is an insane one. Draco is definitely a pretty decent one. Patrix is another one that is pretty decent, but it needs some further testing. Knight is an insane one, a movement speed buff on the best ability that it has. And, you know, the rest are just pretty much, you know, alright. Good. There are no bad out of all of these. This time around this batch. What was the Boomeranger? The one from the bow, the one that you hit enemies with the bow basic and they would explode. That was the bow. That was the Boomeranger last week. The bow basic explosion. That was the one from last week. But this week, this time around, these are good for testing, I will say. Like the Revenant is just going to end up being like such an interesting class, to say the least. Because you can actually just go with this. I don't know if it still works. The fact that you can just go with mount if you're one of the... Yeah, I pretty much, I'm sure that you can just keep doing this with mount if you're not using movement speed gear. And if you're using movement speed gear, you can literally just go like this. Who knows? In the case of like the Neon Ninja one is... This one's not okay. I'm perfectly fine with the one shuriken charge, but 3 of them, that's pretty ridiculous, not gonna lie. But yeah, I'm not gonna complain either ways. Alright. But this one is pretty insane. It looks more insane than when you read it in the patch note. Like, it's pretty ridiculous. That you prefer slow falling. Ew. Slow falling with Neon Ninja? No. But this is not okay. Yeah, there's Andrew. I might. But this is just ridiculous. 3 shuriken charges every time you do Shadow Flip. So whenever you're doing dungeons, you can literally just go, oh yeah, boom, shuriken, boom, oh yes, another enemy, oh shuriken, oh another enemy, like, let me just equip the movement speed gear. Can I click? My lord. So now base movement speed I should have 80. Okay. So not even close to the movement speed a Neon Ninja has, but you can literally just go there, boom, throw shuriken charge, and then you have all full shuriken charges. Oh, world boss. Oh yeah, throw shuriken charge. Like, you're literally just running around. Oh, you see a random enemy, you throw a shuriken charge, and then you have all movement speed buff. Or you can just throw down this and just keep going. And again, I don't have it like movement speed buff to justify how crazy this is. Actually, I will do an actual example. Let me just give you all an example of what I can show you. Keep pressing all of the wrong buttons, god. I'll try my best to at least just showcase all of these. I'll just use this one. Without clashing, I will try without clashing. Obviously, I could just get a clashing, but I don't feel like going. Like, I don't have a lot of time to be a lot of time left. So I'll just be doing this showcase shortly. Let me just go into Novice. So you can actually see the perfect application of these. I wish I had cell assembly, not gonna lie. So the momentum before with the Neon Ninja was just using the basic attack to gain the movement speed buff. Throw one shuriken if you had. I missed. Like one shuriken charge if you could one shot. Or just do 1, 2, 3 baffling to shuriken. That was the old one. Now it's just going to end up being like, oh, shuriken charge, throw shuriken, kill. You see another enemy, throw, and I missed twice. But yeah, you can easily just do that. With the collection, you can do that much easier. Actually, do I have energy regeneration? I could just get... Stop. I could just give him an energy regeneration weapon. Energy regeneration movement speed, so I can actually just get something to an extent. ER. MS. Now, Let's see how it does fare. Okay, that's much better. That's the momentum of the Neon Ninja. And I miss. Yeah, I just say the word fully because I'm weird like that. Am I instead of just using Marshall, let me just use Energizing Rain for now. I wish I had Celis. Like I wish I had Celis emblem. This one and the Candy Barbarian one would be like much better testing. But I cannot test them out. But yeah, you can easily just see how good it can be. I missed. If I had the Cloud Gem, I wouldn't be missing all of these. This hitbox on that thing is broken. Celis is not on the store. It was, but no, not anymore. If it were, then trust me, I would have had it. That's the rough part. I don't know if there's any store pad that actually have it, but Celis is one of the emblems. Celis and Unyielding got removed, which is unfortunate. I wish I had. They were still there. Yeah, there's a reason why Luxin sells them. Yep, already checked on the marketplace last time and there were none. It's unfortunate, like, because I would have loved to do testing like this. I had to just be on the ground. The no class change shuriken has like terrible hit detection. It's not even funny. Well, if I do that, don't I lose like all of the progress that I have here on PTS? Because on PTS I do have more stuff than I do have on regular life. No. PTS, I do have all of the character at least at 25 because we got the tokens, which on live I don't, and I'm not gonna level all of the character to 25. But yeah, you get the point. It's honestly so good. It's so good. Because here's the thing. One of the tactics that if you are a Neon Ninja player that you should start implementing is going to be, as soon as you use a pod for trailblazing, you do a backflip immediately. Or every time you get a movement speed buff, you do a backflip immediately. That's a thing that you should be doing even right now. Like without all of these. Because again, the movement speed buff that you do get is percentage movement speed buff. So the more movement speed increase that you do have with buffs, the more benefit that you do get with Shadow Flip and the faster that you actually become. So this is a thing that you should already be doing, and the problem is, well, not going to say a problem, but the thing is with this changes to the ring, it's just going to end up being, oh yeah, I did a backflip, I got all full shuriken charges. Oh, they are not a backflip, full shuriken charges. That's the insane application that you can do with this. And this is coming from a Neon Ninja that barely has anything going for. Like, I'm missing quite a lot. Like, I'm missing a consistent movement speed buff on Vampire and Vanquisher because I don't have high crits. Obviously I am definitely not rocking full C4 max movement speed gear. And obviously I'm not able to maintain the movement speed buff because of the energy. Since I don't have a Celos Emblem or any of those that I can actually just maintain movement speed buff, or I should say Shadow Flip, nor I don't have the class gem, which is going to be easier to hit enemies with. Pretty insane. This one I will probably say is, it could be the best one for sure out of all of them from this bash this week. This one is definitely the strongest one. I love the night one, but this one is way too good. This one is just way too good. Which, by the way, in the case of the night one is only insane via context, only if you apply all of the things that the knight already has going for. Like, if you get that, like, it is not the same thing as giving this movement speed buff to any character and any character will become insane all of the sudden. It only applies to something like the knight, because the knight is one of the biggest weakness for the knight. You know, the movement speed being slow. So if you add proper context to it, like, obviously it's just going to end up being much better than what it actually is, which is only a 25% movement speed, not 25%, 25 base movement speed increase every time you activate Spirit Square, even if it is no cooldown and even if it is 4 seconds. Still, you know, it's a good thing, but it's not as a top tier, not comparable to this. No, this actually does change the character completely, and at the same time keeping the character to what it is. So that's why this one is the best one out of all of them. Again, if you want to read it out for yourself, you can actually just go into the description down below for the patch notes, and you will literally just read everything, and you will see everything that I just talked about in this live stream. I'm going to cut the stream short because I got some stuff to do, and so yeah, I need to just cut the stream right here. So let me see how much time I do have. Like 10 minutes, probably nothing. Like 10 minutes roughly, give or take. So I'll see you guys next time. Check this for yourself, go into the PTS and test it out for yourself. Let me know your thoughts if you have actually seen this, or if you're watching this you know, on as a VOD, and just let me know in the comment section down below your thoughts on it, because again, they want to do this as feedback. Obviously this is not going to end up being part of the Depth Stepper update. This is just going to be you know, an additional thing that they're going to add in on the private test server just for pure testing purposes. So again, if you want to see more, like more of the in-depth kind of thing, and this is going to be uploaded as a VOD later on, so you can actually just watch it and just see what, you know, what everything does. So anyways, that's going to be everything for me. Thank you everyone for watching. Thank you for sticking around as always. This has been really interesting, the testing with the private test server, and I will say this is a great step in the right direction that they're going with, adding, you know, new abilities to the characters, because this is one of the things that this game needed. This game needed character rebalancing really hard, and quality of life changes more so than actual big expansions. And the fact that we're getting more character changes, because obviously you're using the character, you're not using the map. So the fact that they are giving this stuff to the characters so they can actually just perform better, actually really nice. So yeah, I will probably give a big props to the devs with these changes, because this is actually really good. Test it out once again for yourself. Go into the private test server. It's open for everyone, and you can just test out everything. You will be getting all of the items, all of the ability as claims. You just go into the claims menu. You will literally have all of them. They will go into your inventory and they work as rings. And that's going to be everything. Thank you once again for watching, and I hope to see you guys next time. Take care and keep on hunting. So yeah, patch notes in the description down below.
Looks like a blink of an eye's not enough. She'd rather be staying for days now. I'd rather fix